to leave. So we're gonna go in with the lottery. The lotteries is pretty straightforward. I still am not totally sure why the governor always goes to the shrinkage on the lottery, and doesn't on other agencies. But I guess it's okay. They don't seem to have a problem with it, so I think it'll be okay. So I don't really see any big issues with the lottery unless someone else does.
Mr. Chairman, I make a motion that we concur with the governor's recommendation on FY24 and FY 2025 for the Kansas lottery.
Okay. Second by Representative Riley. Any discussion? Seeing no discussion, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Okay. Now the Gaming and Racing Commission. I do think there might be some changes on this one that we might want to look at. So Representative Amix.
Chairman, I would make a motion to concur with the governor's recommendation for the Kansas Racing and Gaming Commission for FY 2024 and FY 2025.
Okay, is there a second? Second by Representative Melton. Any discussion? Well, I would like to look at the parimutuel facilities in both of those years. I don't really see the use to have the any sort of a especially not the 13 FTEs for 24 and not the money. So Representative Riley.
So, Mr. Chair, what I'm hearing you say is that you would like an amendment to that, to the motion that's on the floor, cutting in both, well, let's start out with 24. We're cutting in 24, take away the 13 FTEs out of 24, and also the funding for those 13 FTEs.
Yeah, and 25, I think I mean, let's talk about it. But I think that they're saying that the horse racing facility could be up and running by July of 2025. I'm skeptical. They might get it done, but I'm not sure they need all of those. I just think I'd like to come back and look at it again, I guess. And so we'll be back here in, before that July of 2025. They say they need about 6 months to hire them. Maybe we can give them a few of them and maybe part of the money to start getting started. But Representative Amix.
So, Mr. Chairman, thank you. Are you suggesting then that in a year from now, February or January, a year from now, that we would actually we have the ability to recommend a supplemental so that we can, say that they're done, ready to go, and
yeah,
we can do that.
We will. I mean, we'll be doing supplemental 2025 next year. So I think it'd be good to Representative Riley.
Well, and again, I'm not sure I get a second for this, but so then I would propose for 24 having, taking away those 13 FTEs, taking away the funding for those 13 FTEs, and then in 25, I would propose that we would give them 6 FTEs and the funding for 6 FTEs.
So half of the funding that they're asking. Okay. I'd second that amendment. Or second by Representative Turk. Any discussion on that amendment? Representative
Chair, yeah, that seems reasonable because I don't see any way that it's going to be done this for 24. So yeah, I think that's fine. I'm happy to support that.
All right. Any other discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. All right. That amendment passes. Any other discussion on 24 and 25? Seeing none, Representative Amix, would you like to close?
Sure. I close on my motion.
As amended.
As amended. Sorry.
All those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed, same sign. Motion carries. I know it's not the same side. I'll tell you why. I knew you were going to say. As soon as I said that, I knew you were going to say it. I know. Thank you. Next, let's go to the department. Well, let's do hearing aid and examiners. That one shouldn't take too long. Would somebody like to make a motion on that one? Representative Amix.
Sorry. I would make a motion, Chairman, to concur with the governor's recommendation for the Kansas Board of Hearing Aid Examiners on FY 2024 and FY 2025.
Second by Representative Riley. Any discussion? None. All those in favor say aye. All those opposed, no. All right, the ayes have it. All right. We do have high standards, that's right. Okay, now the Department of Revenue. Let's see here. They don't have, there's not really a budget for them. Their budget is with tribal. So the Department of Revenue, I'm looking through it for myself. I don't really see an issue in 24 necessarily. I think that it's pretty laid out what's happening with them. 2025, I would like to have a discussion amongst everybody as far as with the addition of the 1.2 million for providing the printing and postage costs. And I think that's the only thing that really looks like might need to be kind of discussed. So, Representative Riley.
Well, in order to start the discussion, I would like to go ahead and for 2025, 2024 and 2025, go with the governor's recommendation. But I would make a proposal for 24 to cut back 10 FTEs for 24 and 10 FTEs for 25. So that would be something to get on the floor so we would have a discussion.
Now, is that the same? That's the same 10 FTEs, right?
10 exactly.
Yeah.
So that would cut them back to from 1,049.2 to 1,039.2.
Is there a second? Second by Representative Turk. Representative Riley, do you have a number of how many vacant FTEs they have?
Yes, Mr. Chair, we did receive some information on the shrinkage that they gave to us, and that number, according to their information, was 48 funded positions that are vacant across agency. And so out of 48, I'm saying maybe we could cut back 10.
And you're just cutting, now those are funded, those were 48 funded or unfunded? Those were funded, okay. They don't have any unfunded? Okay, yeah, I might make sure because it makes a little bit of a difference. Do you have any unfunded vacant positions? No, okay, so they're all funded, okay. Representative Turk.
Sade, I'm curious, how long have those been vacant? Do you have a timeline? Have they ever been fully staffed?
I do not. We don't have it's like a just transitioning thing. So it's kind of in and out fluid. So we wouldn't have a way to estimate how long those specific positions have been vacant.
So, all right. So it's safe for me to assume then, since there's no information, that they've never been fully staffed and they're still able to accomplish their objectives.
I only have had this budget this is my second year with this budget. And last year they had less vacant positions. Actually, I think they had 70 last year. So they had more. So they have filled more positions this year than they did last year. So they have filled their positions since last year. And
so a year has gone by, all right, and all of these positions have not been filled, and they're still able to accomplish their mission.
Yes, I'm not sure if they're the same positions, but in general.
Okay. So, as a responsible government agency that schedules that debates their budget yearly, I think it would be responsible to have them re-justify the amount of positions they have, at least on a semi-annual basis. I feel like 10 is a very conservative number, and I like that idea.
Representative Amix.
Chairman, thank you. And I appreciate the comments by both the representatives, but maybe recall the history of, the agency. And we have seen quite a number of vacancies in this, and especially during the COVID years, obviously. So I think it's like a number of the agencies we have, and a lot of people doing a lot of extra work to make sure that everything's being met. So I'm a little bit concerned about cutting positions just because they're trying to fill them up as we speak. So, but
Representative Melton.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I agree with Representative Amix. We get a lot of constituent calls, or I do anyway, about how long it takes to get service there. No fault of the staff there, but I agree, just because they aren't filled doesn't mean they don't need them. They just probably can't find the people. So I would hate to limit them in that way.
Yeah, I understand. I think maybe it's like Representative Turk said, maybe them coming and justifying why they do need them might be well worth it, the cutting of them and seeing what happens.
Yeah. So yeah, let me. I hear you. I hear both of you, and I don't disagree necessarily, but I want to throw this out. We're not pouring concrete here. We're doing government work. So workload. I've been hearing it all day, not just in this committee. Workload this, workload that. We're inside offices. We're all safe and secure. All right. So we're not pouring concrete. We're not taking bullets. That being said, let's do some math real quick. Charday said that there were 70 vacancies. There's how many vacancies? 70 vacancies last year. There's how many vacancies currently? 48, 45, whatever. So let's just say, given this current situation in the hiring market as an employer, I know how difficult it is to hire people. Let's just do some short math. And a year from now, I would be shocked. In fact, if they find a way to hire half the number of vacancies that they have, they should be putting on a course for everybody in the country on how to hire people. Okay, so if they can hire half of it, that still does not impact the 10 that we'll reduce. So if they come back next year and they're like, we maxed out our total number of vacancies and we still need 10 more people, first I'll eat my shoe. Okay, then I'll be the first one to say I'm sorry. But until then, 10 is a reasonable number.
thank you, Mr. Chair. And Representative, again, I appreciate what you're saying. This is one of the times that I think that I have to disagree with you. It's just one of those things. I think fully staffed is fully staffed. And I know, and you mentioned this a second ago, just how hard it is to hire people today and fill these positions. So I'm willing to keep them.
Any other? Representative Smith.
I've appreciated, thank you, Mr. Chair. I appreciated everybody's comments. All of them are really good. If we don't cut and next year they show up with the same number, what have we heard? We haven't heard anything. So I see no need to cut even if they don't hire anymore because nothing has changed. So thank you, Mr. Chair.
Representative Turk.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Let me pose just one more thing for the committee and then I will zip it. Okay. I'm fortunate enough to have another committee on my list of committees that gives me a grander picture. And I'm seeing the entirety of the budget. I know how many FTEs we have across the board, and it's very, very high. In fact, we're the 10th or the second largest employer of government workers per capita in the country. And I'm seeing a lot of very worthy requests for additional FTEs across the board, and they are coming up against very, very high scrutiny. It pains me to have to turn down these other FTE requests that are pertinent and needed because our overall FTEs are too high. If we have an opportunity for the next 2 years to lower, one here, one there, and then shift that later down the road and be able to justify that at the grander picture, that makes it an easier discussion. So looking at this and having the possibility to shave off 10 for just 1 year, I think that is a wise overall decision for our body to make, and we would be doing others a service.
All right, any other discussion on Representative Riley?
Thank you, Mr. Chair. And so I think part of, I'm going along with this recommendation for this $1.2 million. I think you wanted to have a little discussion if everybody was on board with paying for that amount of money for that.
Yes,
fund.
yeah, I mean, I was just curious if everybody was okay with that, but I'm not really hearing any arguments. I think it's already been seconded.
It was. So,
Go ahead.
Representative.
Yeah, Representative Riley.
Yes, Mr. Chair, I'd like to move my motion, please.
Okay. All those in favor of Representative Riley's motion, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. Ayes appear to have it. Ayes do have it. Motion passes. Yeah, now we could move on. Discussion on the 1.2 million. Is there any discussion on that? Is everybody comfortable with paying that? We've paid it the last couple of years. There is actually a bill right now that would make that in perpetuity, I guess, basically. So, Representative Amix.
Chairman, I think we would really be doing a disservice to our counties if we don't do it. This was our idea. It came out of this body. Yeah, I definitely agree that we pay our part.
Any other discussion? Representative Smith.
Forgive me. Could you explain the 1.2
So that's for the postage for the notification. When they send out the taxpayer notification for property tax, and in the original bill, it paid for 2 or maybe 3. Was it 3 or 2 years? I don't remember. It's 2 or 3 years. And then last year, I think we paid for it again. It might have been a proviso or something. And so the governor just put it in the budget this year. And so I'm just saying what everybody's feeling on it.
Thank you.
So I think I'm hearing that everybody's okay with it. So we need a close, I guess. Close this budget if everybody's okay with it. Representative Riley.
Yes, Mr. Chair, I would like to move our recommendation with, I don't know that we amended it.
Yeah, we did.
Okay, with the amendment to the floor, please, for 24 and 25.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. And as much as I disagreed with the discussion about the reducing the 10 employees, I mean, it's still a good budget. I mean, it really is. And we've got to commend the people and the work that's being done out of the Department of Revenue by all the employees that we have. Definitely appreciate all the work that they do. So I'll be supporting the budget here again. It's the 10 person part I get. So
I understand.
thank you, Mr. Chair.
All right. Any other discussion? All right. All those in favor of the 24 and 25 budget for revenue say aye. Aye. Opposed, no. Motion passes. All right, committee, that was all we had for today. So we will not meet tomorrow, and we will not meet Friday, but be ready Monday, because Monday we will start meeting every day, except for, I don't think we shouldn't have to meet on Friday, but And we will have Monday, we will have recommendations for the 3 or 4 that we heard yesterday. And then after that, the ones that we hear, we'll have about a week before we do any recommendations. So I really encourage you, if you see something, to bring that when we get ready to work those. So everybody have a good weekend if I don't see you before, and